something changed, and I don't know what changed exactly or why it changed, but the in order to get your listings seen on through offsite ads, you had to use flat rate shipping. And this wasn't really
I found a stack of records in my attic today. An Elvis picture disc and Kenny's big old hay. Put them up on eBay for the day was done. Watch the bids roll in till the morning sun.
welcome everyone to the video. Welcome to the channel. This is going to be the Tuesday What Sold video. So welcome in. Like the video, thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below. We'll look at a few cool what solds, 5 what sold, sometimes a little bit more, just in case. I mean, if I think of anything that's maybe cool, I'll bring it up. But and then we'll do a little discussion, before that. What was going on today? Today was a very unusual day. I had an unusual schedule. They only needed me for 5 hours today. And for those who don't know or they don't follow me regularly, I work usually every Monday at the hospital. And I just have to work at least one day a week. So that way they don't force me to work when I don't want to work there. And why am I holding on to it? I don't know. It's a comfort thing, I guess, I still do kind of enjoy it, but I don't know. The rest of the time is all reselling though. Reselling is the rest of the time. Yeah, so today's a bit of an unusual day. So I arrived at the post office late today because I was off at 3. So I was like, I didn't have lunch today because I was only working 5 hours. So I went later than typical. I could have gone earlier in the day, but there's too much going on in the morning. So I was like, I'll just go after work. And by the way, it's like a heat wave for 3 days of 90-degree weather. So I have ice water with me. It's hot. But something unusual. So typically I go, go to the back of the post office, drop everything off in the bins in the back. But in one of them, I saw a suitcase, maybe more like an overnight bag or like a carry-on bag. It was red and it had Poshmark, black Poshmark and black lettering, printed all over the bag. I'm like, what the heck is that? It was like a bag with handles and everything. I was like, that's unusual, and it had a label on it. So not unusual to see luggage with a label on it. You can ship it that way. Just make sure to get your dimensions correct. But so I was like, that's unusual. It's just sitting on top of that pile. Like, what is going on there? What is that? I know Poshmark has this thing where you can send your stuff to somebody that will list it for you, but I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. I thought it was like a bag, maybe like a garbage bag style type of thing. I didn't know it was. And maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know if you have any explanation as to that. I thought it was a bit odd. Or maybe it was like an old like Poshmark giveaway bag that somebody sold and is shipping it that way. I don't know. But I just thought that was a bit odd, but I dropped off my packages and then moved on. Moved on, tried to get home because it's hot and wanted to start making dinner. So had some pot stickers tonight that I got from Costco. They're really, really good. And I made some edamame, but I don't think I overcooked them. I mean, some of them were pretty good, but some of them were mushy on the inside. And I'm like, oh, maybe they're bad. So I was like, after I ate one that was mushy, I was like, okay, no more of that. Yeah, I just had, we just had a bunch of pot stickers, which are really, really good with hot sauce and little dipping sauce that it comes with, like a soy sauce dipping sauce. And you put the chili paste in there and oh, so good. And I just made a whole bunch of those. Yeah. But in regards to Poshmark, so, for those that don't know, they're phasing out their priority mail. And so you'll no longer be able to use priority boxes, the free priority boxes, but they partnered with USPS or someone else. I think so. I sent an email so you can call. I haven't been successful at getting anybody on the phone, but you can email this thing. I think it's like victory something or other. I forgot what the email is. It's like victory. Let me go to my sent messages right now, and it is victory Victory Packaging. So it's not USPS. Well, it's USPS. Okay, the email, if you want to send your, an order in to them, it's USPS Poshmark at victorypackaging.com. So that's the email you want to send your order to. And they want your name. They need your Poshmark closet name, obviously your address where you want your, stuff sent to, email address, and then, your order. You can look it up on Poshmark and see what exactly they're offering. And then you can order accordingly. So I placed my order through there, and we'll see. I haven't seen anything yet, and I don't know if anybody has received anything yet. I've been keeping my eye out, my ear out, and I don't think anybody has received the free Ground Advantage boxes, which is pretty cool because if they have Ground Advantage boxes for Poshmark, then hopefully eventually we can get free Ground Advantage packaging for everything else, which would be amazing. I wouldn't have to spend any more money on, well, they might still have to spend something, but I won't spend as much on packaging. We can get it for free from the post office. So I'm waiting for it to come in. Not that I sell that much on Poshmark, but I want to see, I guess you can use it for anything. I don't know. We're going to see. I placed an order, and we'll see what happens. So we'll see what I get in the mail. Hopefully. I don't know. Who knows? I haven't got confirmation, so it could have gone to nobody. It could go to like one of those, those emails where it says "do not reply to emails." It's just probably some, and some box somewhere that nobody checks. We shall see about that. And the other thing I was going to talk about is about lots of people are talking about how at eBay Open, the talk, or from the advisor, people that were advising them were advising them to switch to flat rate shipping. And nobody's really was given a clear answer, it appears, as to why they want them to do that, other than we recommend you do that. Well, many videos ago on my channel, I brought up the fact that flat rate shipping. So if you use priority, I'm sorry, not priority. If you use, let me just quickly rehash the story really, really quick. So I was using offsite ads, having a tremendous success with offsite ads. It was really, really great. And I was like, all right, I'm going to, invest more money into offsite ads. And I forgot, it was September, October, somewhere around that time frame last year. I was going from, hundreds of clicks to like 3 or 4. It was very, very dramatic drop. And I was like, what the heck just happened? I had no idea what happened. And then, through a little bit of investigative work, my first thought process was, okay, that was about when they were trying to do the push for priority ads. So my first thought was, okay, they must use priority ads. So, through just my channels, my backwater channels. Yeah, I've been to many, eBay meetings and, local. I'm here in, where eBay is, where eBay headquarters is. So I've attended some events, employee events, dinners, they're near Campbell, and so they have events over in Campbell from time to time, and a lot of great. By the way, a lot of great restaurants over in Campbell. If you're ever in the area, Campbell is like next door to San Jose. It's really like there's 3. You go Campbell, San Jose, Willow. Oh yeah, how's it go? No, you would go Willow Glen, San Jose, Campbell. Willow Glen, like San Jose is the big city, and then there's like Willow Glen, and then there's Campbell, then there's Saratoga, and but they're all like one street, one street, one street. So they're all very, very close. And eBay's kind of like in the middle of it's still in San Jose, but it's right like one street over, you're in or 2 streets over, you're over in Campbell, and then like 4 or 5 streets over the other way, you're in Willow Glen. And so it's kind of strange. So either way, I found out that the my listings, so this is me. I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm assuming it's the same for everybody else. If you're using offsite ads, I don't know, if they're trying to do that, if they're gonna do that push again, but something changed, and I don't know what changed exactly or why it changed, but in order to get your listings seen through offsite ads, you had to use flat rate shipping. And this wasn't really I didn't really hear anybody say anything about that. I mean, I haven't heard anybody mention anything regarding, or from eBay, that is, direction from eBay to use flat rate shipping. And maybe they really didn't know. Maybe they weren't really focused on it too much. But my listings were getting rejected. All my listings that had calculated, most, I should say all. It was most, because some of them did get through. I was able to look at the report that I did look at the report that the listings were getting rejected, and they were all calculated shipping. The ones that were definitely getting through were flat rate. And at the time, I only had a small selection that were actually flat rate shipping. Not It was very, very few. So therefore, it was like, okay, that makes sense then. If those are the only ones getting through, then yeah, then it's only like 3 or 4 views, 3 or 4 clicks, and that's it. That would be it. I wouldn't expect any more because nothing else is getting through. Google is rejecting the ones that have calculated shipping. So, I was like, okay, well then, if that's what it is, that's what it is. I mean, I had already moved on with my life, at that time, with my eBay reselling life and advertising. I already moved on, and I'm already, am seeing some great success with priority ads. If you're, give it a try, be careful. Don't put too much money towards it because the clicks they can rattle off very, very fast. And the click is money. So be careful. So I'm already moving on and adjusting my game plan. But when I found that out, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And interesting because, and I believe I mentioned this too, is that, I had wanted more control over the ads, I'm familiar with using Google ads and using Facebook ads to market my own website. When I was selling jewelry, marketing my own website that way, and the amount of control and, the ability to really, really target specific and we're talking well over 5 years ago. That was 5, 6 years ago, and I'm pretty sure it's way advanced now. But, back then, being able to really, really target the buyers that you want, you target the right people that you want the ads to pop up for in or whatever, you want getting the right eyes on your ads. Just say it that way. And so, when eBay was launching their Google Offsite ads, I already have some advanced knowledge in it, and I wanted more control over it, but there really wasn't. It was basically just Google handles it. You pay the money, and then you say how much you're going to spend on it, and then Google takes over from there. And, I was like, I kinda wanted more control over it, but then I was seeing some success with it, and then I didn't see success with it, and I found out that Google was actually rejecting the ads or rejecting my listings. So I was like, okay, well, that now I can now that I have that knowledge, I can kind of, use that information to my advantage, and realizing that I now had a little bit of control over the system, basically, over the ad system. And I was able to create some flat rate shipping profiles, and I can put things in there that I do want to go out there, and I can kind of manage my budget that way, as opposed to just letting it go willy nilly, go flat rate on everything, and then willy nilly let it just do its thing. No, something just moved over there. Let me go take a look and see. Oh, pardon my screen. Hold on 1 second. Let me just look over there really quick. Hold on. You almost said. I don't know what that was, but just concerned because, once it gets hot, all of a sudden, you know, bugs start coming out, and some. I don't want it to be a mouse or anything like that. We got, I have a little trap over there. It's a catch and release trap. So, um, but we can't help it. We can't help it around here. We're surrounded by mountains. If you're in the area, we're surrounded by mountains here. So we got all kinds of wildlife. I even heard the other day there was elk in the area. Someone spotted an elk, and I'm like, elk? Really? I didn't know there was elk here. but apparently there are elk native to our area. Um, Deer, of course, I think see deer all the time. Sometimes just coyotes roaming the streets in the morning. Like as a matter of fact, there's been giant flock, I guess, of turkeys roaming the neighborhoods every morning. They're coming down from the mountains, and so it's the time of the year, I guess. Um, but yeah, so ads, just going back to ads, and kind of close the loop on that. So I don't know the exact answer as to why all of a sudden they're starting to push it. Is it because they're like, okay, well, maybe we should, these things are getting rejected. Maybe we should actually tell people about them. Maybe something else is coming down the pipe in the future. And if you want your items to still be shown on Google, maybe outside of the offsite ads, I don't know. I can't see that, organic searches would be affected by that at all because, like I said, Google's gonna, fall around and find everything, whenever somebody's searching for something. Um, so I don't know. I don't know the exact push behind it. Maybe it has something to do with AI. We shall see in the future. But like I said, I know this is what I was told, and do with that information what you will. Again, it was just it's my store, and that's it. I only have my own experiment that I did, and that's it. I could duplicate it with my own store, but I don't have small sample size. My sample, that's it. One sample size, as far as I know. I don't know of anybody else that knows this information. I don't know if at least I haven't seen anybody post it or talk about it at all. So it is something, I don't know, maybe they're gonna do a big push for offsite ads again. Who knows? I don't think they would again, especially with AI coming down the pipe and, or not down the pipe, it's already here, and how well it's working, how well it's, I think you can match, a buyer with an item very, very well. And it's learning at an incredible pace. And, uh, yeah, I could see a day when potentially, ads kind of just, ads are just completely run in the background by AI. AI is just, already knows our habits and everything, our searching habits and all that, not our habits we do with our phones and our computers and all that. So, um, yeah, we'll see what the future holds on that. And I'll keep my ear out and keep my eye out. And if I hear anything else, see anything else, I'll definitely, bring that here. I always like to introduce a really cool item. There's something I found, but I don't know if I mentioned it here, but I have mentioned it in my thrifting videos. Kind of doing like a dry thrifting couple of weeks, like people sometimes do a dry week or like a dry, no alcohol or something like that. Dry January, kind of do a dry thrifting for a couple of weeks. I have a lot of stuff I got to process and get through. But I'm still making videos. I still gotta make videos. I still got to go out to the thrift stores and buy stuff. I'm just trying to keep it really trying to not buy so much. Although sometimes it's hard because you see a lot of stuff and it's like, oh man, there's profit there, there's profit there. But either way, we're at the thrift store and I found this really cool thing. It's just a keyboard. It's just a plain, it says ergonomic, but I don't know. It's not really ergonomic to me. It looks like a standard keyboard, but this is early 2000s and it's Keytronic. But what's cool is it see completely sealed, sealed the original plastic on it. If you can see that right there. So like, what? How in the world has this survived? Probably 20 years like this. So like, wow. And the box is still in great condition. So this is the cool stuff that I really like and I keep my eye out for. So Keytronic, brand new sealed keyboard and mouse. um I'm listing it for $80, and so we'll see. Some watchers already on it, so we'll see where that goes. Hopefully, we get close to that. I think it's a cool item, and I think it's worth about $80. There's no, I mean, there's sold comps on on Keytronic keyboards, but not like this one, brand new, sealed in the box, original, with that model number. There's none like that. So just kind of got to go off my instinct and my, use my knowledge of selling keyboards and my history of selling this stuff online. Okay, let's get into the what's sold. First thing right off the bat, I talked about spring cleaning everything. Well, not necessarily spring cleaning, but just cleaning stuff because it's not spring right now. Um, what I forgot to do is put this in do not disturb mode. There we go. Okay. Just in case. Let me just answer a quick little message. All right, and then where are we at? Here we go. Okay. This controller right here. So it's the Steam controller. This is my own controller. I wasn't using it. I used it and it's been sitting in my little gaming station at my TV, which I haven't really touched in ages. And so I was like, you know what? It's just sitting there. I'm not using it. And not only that, there's a bit of a learning curve with these Valve Steam controllers. They don't make them anymore. At least I don't think they make any variant. They have the Steam Deck, which is like the handheld one, kind of like the Nintendo one. But these controllers are really cool. They're very comfortable in hand. Incredibly comfortable controller. It takes a bit of getting used to using this little touchpad on the side, and it has buttons on the bottom and everything. But it's really cool. I did like it, and I tried to really use it. And by trying to really use it, and that I mean, like, we're talking a few years ago now. So it's been sitting for a while. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop. I'm never gonna get around to using it. And when I did use it, or when I did play games on my TV, it would go. I would just use my what do you call it? Xbox controller, connect that to my computer, and I'd use that. So I'm selling it. How much did I sell it for? You gotta have the dongle. Well, you could sell it without the dongle, but you really, to get the most money out of it, you need the dongle. $59.98 is what it's sold for. And so a small padded, no, not small padded. It's a regular padded poly bag is what this went into. So really cool. Definitely keep your eye out for these ones. They will sell without the dongle. Obviously, if you want to get more, they got to have the dongle with it. So it's a really cool controller. It's just, there's a bit of a learning curve with it. Yeah, but it's very comfortable in hand. Very comfortable in hand. Which direction? Oh, going this way. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. Now, this is not a major moneymaker of any kind. I just thought it was pretty cool that I sold it. It was in a baggie with another magnetic notepad that actually sold for $40. It was a retro. It had a place for your pens. It was brand new seal. It had this really cool floor design. That one sold already. And then this was in there. And I'm like, yeah, well, let's list it. Let's see if we can get it sold. And it sold for $7. Nothing crazy, but the baggie that this was in was $2.99. So I was like, just pretty much, paid for the baggie. So really cool. This little memo pad. It has a magnet on the back, refrigerator, notepad, a fairy, $7. And they paid more than they paid a total. Oh, I don't have the total here, but either way, the shipping was $602 on that. So did I say the shipping on the controller? Shipping was $8.71 on the controller. And this went in a small padded poly bag. $6.02 is what they paid in shipping. So just a little notepad, just trying to, maximize and get every single dollar out of everything I find in these little baggies. So it's kind of cool. This is kind of cool. And I thought I'd throw it in here. That, everything, not necessarily everything, but a lot of things sell that you might not necessarily be aware of. If you have a big old pack of these notepads, hey, try to sell them. Now, something very strange is all of a sudden my what do you call it? Petrified wood stuff is selling. Just all of a sudden, it just started selling this past weekend. I'm like, what the heck? Like, what's going on with petrified wood? Is something happening? Something going on? Why does everybody want it? But a soul. I'm like, what? That's strange. And not to the same person, different people too. And these were bookends. They were nice and polished, and they sold for this one in a 12.86 box. $64.22 is what they sold for. $10.74 is what they paid in shipping. So really, really cool. Definitely something to keep your eye out for. Petrified wood does sell. I don't know why all of a sudden it's starting to sell. I really don't see any, or see any articles or nothing trend. I didn't see anything in my Google Trends. I get my daily email of what's trending on Google. I didn't see petrified wood trending on there, but all of a sudden they're just starting to sell for me. So they do sell regularly all the time. So definitely stuff to keep your eye out for. I just know that they are pretty heavy, so just be aware of that. The bookends do really well. Just the individual specimens do okay. The bigger, the better. The more heavier, the better. But then again, of course, you're not the shipping's going to be more, take a little more time in the shipping. So really, really cool. Definitely something to keep your eye out for. Petrified wood. Now, going along the lines with really cool computer stuff and retro computer stuff, this is a really cool little mouse. As you can see, it has funky 3 buttons there, a funky middle button. This is a really cool piece here. Retro. I mean, look at the box art. That's 90s right there. As you can see, Windows 95. $29.18. $6.53 what they paid in shipping. And I really do like all this old retro computer stuff. And there's people like me that still like this stuff. They still look out for it and they still use it. I've shown some older computer peripherals that I use still. And, when you find that one thing that you really, really like, you got to have it. So people will pay for it, and they'll actively look for it and pay for it. So really, really cool. Definitely something to keep your eye out for, especially if it's brand new seal. If it's brand new seal, even better. There are some early 2000 mice that if they're brand new sealed, man, they can go for 50, 60, 80, hundreds of dollars if they're brand new sealed, even not brand new sealed as well too. So definitely, I have one. Maybe I'll feature it in another video. I know I have one floating around here somewhere in a bag. And it's a really cool, it was a pretty iconic Logitech gaming mouse. I'm actually looking for the wireless variant of it. If I ever do come across it one of these days, I used to have it. I used to own it. And I'll have to look for it. I know it's somewhere. I found it in the bins. It's somewhere around here, and I'll show it in one of these videos. Okay, this is just weird. This is a band. I believe it's Dance Gavin is the actual band. This is a plush that was a part of some sort of tour or something they did. I really don't know. Google Image helped me out with this. I picked it up. I thought it was cool, unique, and I was like, look, I have a feeling, and I talk about that sixth sense that you get after doing this for so long, that this thing has some value. There's some value here in this thing. I see it, and I can see the value in it, and I saw the value in this, and I picked it up, and you know what it sold for? Oh, the mouse went in a large padded poly bag. Where am I at? Oh, here I am. $60. This plush sold for $60. $6.82 is what they paid in shipping. And I double bagged it in a padded poly bag, and not a padded poly bag, in a regular poly bag. There was nothing at all breakable. Not even the eyes were plastic or anything like that. $60 for this plush. It was sealed. It was still in its original plastic bag. So maybe that also helped it as well too. If you know more about this band, let me know. Or Swan Fest. I'm not really familiar at all. I'm still stuck in the early 2000s, 90s, 80s. I was listening to some, if you're familiar, Randy Foster country. One of my favorite songs is Nobody Wins by Randy Foster. One of my favorite songs. I have many favorites. Just like whiskey, many favorite whiskeys, many favorite country songs, all kinds of songs. Yeah, I listen to all kinds, from rock to rap to Nas is my favorite rap artist. Favorite song by Nas is Mastermind. Favorite all-time artist, singer, whatever, Dwight Yoakam. Guitars and Cadillacs, all-time favorite song. It just takes me straight back to my childhood is what it does. Every time I listen to it. And also a big Ricky Van Shelton fan. I remember just my parents always, going to Ricky Van Shelton concerts every time he was in town. And of course Randy Foster and, all those, Doug Supernall, if you're familiar with Doug Supernall, Reno, it's the song Reno. It's a really great song. I really like that song. John Barry, another great artist, John Barry. I mean, I can go on and on and on in the country world. I grew up listening to it because my parents listened to it. So I grew up listening to it. Then obviously I went to school and learned other music as well too. I listened to other music. A few great, System of the Down songs I really like. Of course, all the classic, Rolling Stones, Beatles, big CCR fan or John Fogerty fan. Tom Petty. Tom Petty, man, Refugee, great music. Otherwise, I can go on and on and on and on. But what time is it? It's getting late. It's actually late from you here right now. Late Monday night is what it is. And I gotta wrap this up because I'm getting tired. That is it. Okay. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.
Hey, you've made it to the end. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video by hitting the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel by hitting my little round icon down below. It really does help us out here. Also, you'll find a couple of selections. You'll see a playlist of videos to watch and my most recent video that I did upload.